Hi everyone, I'm Sara Robinson. I'm the community manager at Firebase. I'm not going to talk about that today. Today I'm going to talk about why Harry Potter is so popular worldwide and why it's such a global cultural phenomenon. First of all, why am I interested in this? I'm interested in this because 3 years ago I decided to write my senior thesis on Harry Potter and globalization, trying to analyze why it was so popular worldwide and why it's become such a global cultural phenomenon and how it's representative of globalization. The first thing I did when I started researching for my thesis is I defined the series' popularity. Harry Potter sold more copies than any other book in history, with the exception of the Bible and Mao Zedong's Little Red Book, which weren't technically sold. It sold 500 million copies, and it's been translated in over 70 languages. So when I first started researching for this, I was expecting to come across one definitive answer that explained the book's popularity, explained why they were so popular. Instead, I found that there were as many factors that contributed to the book's success. The first and most obvious factor was that the books appealed to a wide variety of genders and ages. So it appealed to both guys and girls, which made it different from previous book series and other phenomenon. It also appealed across generations. So grandparents, parents, and children all read the books. The second thing that really contributed to the book's success was their timing. They were released in 1997, first in the UK, and this was around the same time that the internet was becoming popular. It was becoming common that more and more households had access to the internet. I'm sure you all remember dialing up on AOL, and you get the You've Got Mail and the welcome screen. So when Harry Potter was published in the UK, it was first promoted on an AOL welcome screen page. And they noticed that the link went viral, even after it was taken down, which didn't happen with other links that were posted on these pages. It went completely viral. And Scholastic noticed this, and they decided to offer J.K. Rowling an advance of $105,000 to publish the books in the U.S. And so she did exactly that. She published them in the U.S., and they were a smash hit. This was considered an extremely large amount of money at the time for an unknown author. So she published them in the U.S., they became a smash hit, and so the internet, it helped the books initially become popular, and then it also really influenced the way that the fandom took shape after that. So hundreds of fan sites are available in different languages that let fans connect to each other instantly all over the world. And this really differentiated Harry Potter from any previous phenomenons or book series that came before it. And the internet, as you can see from this quote, really helps quality rise to the top. So the books were very well written, and the internet really influenced the shape of the fandom. And I found while researching for my thesis that the fandom exists in three distinct spheres. First, there's the economy, which was largely fueled by the Harry Potter movies. Pretty much any type of merchandise you can imagine is available online. Food, books, really anything. The second sphere is tourism. So there's a wide variety of tourism related to Harry Potter. There's the Wizarding World. You can tour the movie set. A more obscure example is there is a grave in Israel of a British soldier named Harry Potter who died in 1918, no relation to the books. It attracts hundreds of tourists every year. The third element is fan conventions. So this is fans actually engaging with each other face to face. And previous phenomenon were limited to fan conventions as a means for fans to express their love for the fandom. But Harry Potter was able to expand beyond that. So Star Trek, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, fans were limited to their geographical location. They could only engage with fans in their local area, or if they decided to go out to a fan convention, they could do that, but they were really limited to face-to-face interaction with other fans. In Lord of the Rings, Tolkien was very restrictive on how the book was translated. He didn't think anyone was fit to translate the book, and as a result, there were very few translations published in his lifetime. J.K. Rowling, on the other hand, was very liberal in her approach to translations. So she didn't place any restrictions on how translators adapted the story. The only thing that her publisher had to approve was the book covers before they were translated. But this gave translators the ability to adapt the story to appeal more to their local culture. So one example is the French translation. The translator chose to make Harry Potter's world appear a lot more different than our own world. As you can see, even in the cover, Harry's wearing jeans on the English cover. On the French cover, they're depicted in full wizard garb, which just shows one example of how the translation was adapted. So we're all here today because of the internet, and as you can see, the internet was a driving force behind the Harry Potter fandom. It led to its initial popularity, and then it really influenced the way the fandom took shape, let fans connect with each other instantly all over the world. So that's all for today. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at srobtweets, and Sara at firebase.com. Thank you.